Beneath the pale glow of a fractured moon, our story begins not with a fairy tale, but with a whisper, a secret carried on the night wind. In the heart of an ancient forest, where shadows dance with forgotten memories, I first saw him. His name was Lycaon, a name that tasted of wild earth and coming storms. He was a phantom in the twilight, his eyes holding the deep, sorrowful blue of a midnight lake. I was Alara, a daughter of the village, my world confined to cobblestone streets and the scent of hearth fires. But my soul, oh, my soul had always yearned for the untamed wild, for a story grander than the one I was given. I didn't know then what drew me to the edge of the woods night after night. It was a pull, an invisible thread tugging at the very core of my being. I would watch him from the tree line, a lone figure carved from moonlight and sorrow. He moved with a grace that was both beautiful and terrifying, a predator and a poet in one form. Our meetings were silent, stolen moments where our gazes would lock across the misty clearing. There was a question in his eyes, a desperate, unspoken plea that mirrored the one in my own heart. A question of belonging, of a love that felt both destined and doomed from its very inception. One evening, as the first crimson streaks of a blood moon painted the sky, he spoke. His voice was a low rumble, like distant thunder. "You should not be here," he warned, though his eyes betrayed a different sentiment. "This forest holds dangers you cannot comprehend." I stepped closer, unafraid. "The only danger I feel," I replied, my own voice trembling slightly, "is a life lived without knowing why my heart led me here, to you." A flicker of something, was it hope or pain, crossed his features. He told me his name, and in that moment, the world shifted. The forest no longer felt like a barrier between our worlds, but the very place where they were meant to collide. Our love bloomed in the shadows, a fragile, impossible flower nourished by stolen glances and whispered confessions under the watchful eyes of ancient trees. He showed me the hidden wonders of his world, glowing flora that pulsed with life, streams that sang forgotten lullabies. With him, I felt more alive than ever before. He was tender, his touch a gentle fire against my skin, his words painting constellations in my mind. But a darkness clung to him, a profound sadness that deepened as the blood moon grew fuller, its scarlet light bleeding across the heavens. He would grow distant, his gaze lost to a horizon I couldn't see, his hands clenched as if fighting an invisible war within himself. He tried to warn me, his voice strained with a grief I couldn't yet understand. He spoke of a curse, a lineage bound to the moon's cruel cycle. "When the moon bleeds, Alara," he confessed, his eyes filled with a terrifying despair, "I become what you fear most, a monster." I refused to believe it. The man I loved, the one who handled wildflowers with such care and looked at me as if I were the only star in his sky, could not be a monster. "I am not afraid," I declared, my love a shield against the encroaching darkness. "Whatever you are, we will face it together." His silence was a heavier burden than any shout, a confirmation of the tragedy that was already written in the stars. The night of the full blood moon arrived, an ominous, silent sovereign in the sky. The forest held its breath. Lycaon begged me to leave, to run back to the safety of my village and forget him. But I couldn't. How do you abandon a part of your own soul? I stayed, hidden amongst the gnarled roots of an old oak, my heart a frantic drum against my ribs. Then I saw it, the transformation. It was not a spectacle of rage, but of pure agony. His body contorted, his screams swallowed by the blood-red light. He fought it, his human eyes, my Lycaon's eyes, pleading with the unforgiving moon until they were consumed by a golden, primal fire. Before me stood the beast, a magnificent, terrifying creature of shadow and fur, its form silhouetted against the crimson moon. It was larger than any wolf of legend, its power a palpable force that made the very air vibrate. Fear, cold and sharp, finally pierced my heart. But as it turned its head, I saw in its wild, glowing eyes a flicker of recognition, a glimmer of the man I loved, trapped within the cage of the curse. It let out a mournful howl, a sound that was not of threat, but a lament, a song of such profound loss and loneliness it shattered my soul. It was the sound of his heart breaking, and mine breaking with it. Slowly, I stepped out from my hiding place. The great wolf froze, its body tensing. Its growl was a low, guttural warning, a desperate attempt to drive me away, to protect me from itself. "Lycaon," I whispered, my voice a fragile thread in the oppressive silence. "It's me. It's Alara." I walked toward him, each step an act of faith, an act of defiance against fate itself. His feral eyes tracked my every move, a battle raging within them between the beast's instinct and the man's love. I could see him fighting, clawing his way back from the precipice of his own monstrous nature for me. I reached him, standing just inches from the beast of legend. Trembling, I raised my hand and placed it gently on its furred cheek. He flinched, but did not pull away. The growl subsided into a low, pained whine. I looked deep into those golden eyes and saw my Lycaon lost in a prison of his own flesh. "I'm here," I said softly, tears streaming down my face. "I'm not leaving you." For a fleeting moment, the beast's head leaned into my touch, a silent surrender. A tear impossibly human escaped its eye and traced a path through its dark fur. It was a moment of impossible connection, a fragile bridge between two worlds, a love that burned brighter than any curse. But fate is a cruel storyteller. Our moment of peace was shattered by the shouts of men. The villagers, armed with torches and silver, had followed me. They saw only a monster and a girl in its clutches. Lycaon, the beast instantly shifted, placing his massive body between me and the approaching mob. A protective roar tore from his throat, a declaration that he would die before letting them harm me. The tragedy was complete. To protect me from the beast, he had to become it. To protect him from the world, I had to stand with a monster. Our love, born in shadow, was now to be tested in fire. We stood together, one heart, two forms, against the dawning light, under the weeping eye of the blood moon. What becomes of a love story when its only ending is written in tragedy? Perhaps it doesn't end. Perhaps it becomes a legend, whispered on the wind, a timeless dance between the beauty of love and the curse it awakens. Thank you for journeying with us through this story. If you were moved, please consider liking and subscribing for more tales from the heart of the shadow.